Concentrate. Good, backwards. I'm good. Hands on hips, neck exercise up and down. So 100, 2, 7, neck, yes, yes, good, good. You're looking right, 100, 2, 7, neck, yes, yes, good, good. Hop. Your left arm up. So your right arm up, stretch to your left, 100, 2, 7, neck, yes, yes, good. You want to change? 100, 2, 7, neck, yes, yes, good. Yeah, okay. Crossing the arms, stretch forwards. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, stretch backwards. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, it's time to go down to our right leg. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, to the left leg. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, it's time to stick back on the left leg, up on the right heel. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You want to change? 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, it's time to switch out to your right on the side edge of the foot. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, on the ball of the foot. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You want to change the sides. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You're on the ball. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You're on this. Sit back on your left leg. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You're to change. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You're and your and stretching forwards. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You're and you're keeping your right leg inside. Again, stretching forwards. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. You're so grab onto your right ankle, stretch out. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, up, yo. Sides. Again, left foot in. Switch forwards. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, good. Yo, up, yo. Switch out. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, yo, yo, up, yo. And both feet together. And shift legs this. And then just press your thighs towards the floor. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, yo, up, yo. Grab the ankles, push down the elbows. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, yo, yo, up, yo. Push up the thighs, down the knees. 100, 2, 7, neck, that's it. Yes, yo, yo. And then if you put our legs apart, stretch forwards, slowly stretch forwards to the centre. So we're going to go forwards to the count of 4, then we're going to hold, and then we're going to go back down to the count of 4. So when you're holding, I just want to tense the inside of your thighs, not too hard, but enough that you feel a little bit of tension in the hips. So stretching forwards to 4, 100, 2, 7, neck, and a little bit of tension in the legs. And then relax again, forward for 4, 100, 2, 7, neck, a little bit of tension in the thighs. Just allow the muscles to stretch out. Last time, a little bit further forward, 100, do, set, net, and up. So sometimes when you go forwards, the muscles aren't quite ready to let you go as far as you can. So if you pause a little bit and tense the muscles a little bit, it's called a static or dynamic stretch. So it kind of helps. So an isometric stretch, so it kind of helps you elongate the muscle. So again, stretching to your left, hana, do, set, net, das, yes, in, to the right, hana, do, set, net, das, yes, in, so little stretching tip for you, something that I've recently adopted. A lot of times when we stretch, we're taught to reach and hold. From a posture point of view, it's not the best thing because your back's quite tight anyway. If you reach with one side, the other side can't reach maybe as far. So actually, to stretch, your body's not in the correct alignment. So if you turn your hips towards your foot and you lean forward just from your waist, you're not going to get as far because obviously you're not reaching, but posture-wise, you're actually in a better position. So what I tend to do, I don't grab anymore. I'll just look and I'll reach forwards and I'll just lean. Okay, and we'll go to the other side, I'll turn and I'll lean forward from the waist. And again, I found that a better way to stretch than trying to reach over and put pressure on my back. Okay, because it's really the lower hips and the lower back you want. But when you're reaching like that, you're stretching the upper back, so it's actually the wrong muscle group that we're stretching. So again, if you bring your legs together, give a little shake. Okay, and again, we're just going to do knees together. If you don't want to do the plow stretch or over the top, so 100, set, net, that's it, yes, good. I'm going to do one last time with the legs apart. Okay, again, so just reaching forwards. Okay, we can slowly rotate to our left, 100, do, set, net to the center, yes, yes. In, yo to the right, hana, do, set, next the center, das, yes, yo, slowly bring the legs together. Okay, and we're going to go to our fronts. So again, when you go into your fronts, all we're looking to do is just push our hips towards the floor, and as comfortable as you can, just look up at the ceiling, hana, do, set, net, das, yes. You're looking for ball feet, so we're pushing our heels towards the floor. We're pushing on our arm is pushing backwards like a press up. We're sticking our bottom in the air, we're stretching, hana. Do, set, net, that's it, that's it. Yeah. Yep. And then rotate hips just to warm, so hana. Do, set, net, change, that's it. Yes. So we're going to start with the Kwan Kun punching drill that we did on Tuesday. Okay, so we'll start with a middle punch, and then we cross the arms and we lean our weight over to the side. So the idea is to work the block. Actually, just blocks in the center position, but it's that moving away with your stance, and the kind of arm stays in this position here. Okay, so if we're going to Kima Jase for stance, hard to keep position. So the first count, we're going to pull, and we're going to punch, and then count number 2, we're going to cross, and then we're going to step to the lean to the side. Okay, so again, as we pull back in, we're pulling this right hip into stance. Okay. Extend the arm. Extend the arm. So 1 count, 2 moves. Chundan Kongyuk and Isupaku. Again, making sure that we always elbow to elbow before we block. Yes. We put our left foot back. Okay, so up for the riggy. We're going to work today on, as you lift up, bringing your foot down and stopping it before it goes behind your lead leg. So here, and then stepping back. So, can I borrow a second? If you just focus down on the feet, guys will be able to see. So as you do your leg lift, you see how my foot doesn't actually go past my other foot. Quite a common mistake on leg lifts is this happens, so we lose control. You watch Kwon Jin Nim or Grandmaster do it. He'll bring his foot up, he'll stop it here, and then he'll step back, all right? So when you do the technique, up pororigi, you stop, and then you step back. Okay, so from the side view, you'll see it's up, stop, and then step back. And that's kind of what we're working on. With the step back, you just want to bring the hanger in. When you've got your foot to this position here, it's that crossing and uncrossing to reset your stance. Okay, so it's just training you to always reset with your hands. So you've got our left foot back, up pororigi, front stretch kick, two, set, yeah. So we're relying on the muscle at the top of your thigh called the hip flexor to actually stop the kick, and we step back. Yes. Yes. Yep. Jump. Change your stance. Same again. Up, put it in. Two. Set. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay, so Anisopakura technique. Two types we do. The short and the long version. I see more now in the style the shorter version because you can actually do it from a closer distance. So the short version, if you want to bring the screen down, you can say, relies on this standing lead leg twisting. That's as far as you need to go. Okay. Then the other leg comes along to the side. If you just pan up again, sir. And again, you'll see the shoulder a little bit higher. The shoulder comes with it, and that's you getting your body into that position. Then from that position, the leg comes up and hammers straight down in line with the shoulder. So you don't have to go past your body. What you're doing from this position is you're coming down in line with your shoulder here, and then we step back. Okay, so really it's about setting it up by getting that correct twist. You bring your shoulder 90 degrees, right? Because on the shorter version, or the longer version, sorry, we only turn our shoulder 45 because what we're doing is we're doing that. But for the short version, it's 90-degree twist. Okay? So what we'll break it down from the twist to the kick, and then we'll do it all as one move. So you go back down into the legs, sir. Okay? So we'll work on that twisting motion, getting that hip well and truly open. Okay? So if you bring it up again, sir. First count. Sorry, my mistake. Right foot back. Okay. First position. Turn. Okay, and again, you can have your guard up, then inside to out kick, two, and then step back. Okay, now you notice as well, the same thing we did with the leg lift applies to this kick. We don't want to go all the way behind us. We want to be able to twist it, stop it, and then step back. Twist it, stop it, and then step back. So it shows good, what they call Him Cho Chung. And that just means control of power. Okay? So again, next position, one. So again, you can have your guard up. Now, the closer you bring your legs together, the stronger the kick. Okay? Depends on flexibility. And again, two. Good. Twist. Two. Step back. It's absolutely fine if you want to bring the screen down here. So again, when you're learning this, it's okay to land and maybe just the ball of your foot touches the floor before you step back. I've seen it done that way as well. Okay, so again, sir. Okay, so all the way through. Aniso, Pakuro, Chaki. Two. see as you finish, crossing and crossing. Yeah. Yes. Change the jump. So first position. Turning, bringing the shoulder 90 degrees. 1. Inside out kick. 2. Step back. And again, 2. Twist, 90 degrees. 2. Step back. Yeah, twist. Does. Good. By twisting the body, we're actually just creating momentum for the kick. Right? And we can use this as like the setup. So all the way through, on your saw, hakuro, chaki. Yeah. Yeah. Last one. Yes. Okay, so a lot of times if bring the screen down again, sir. A lot of times when we're kicking, a lot of how we can follow one kick with another depends on where we put our feet. A lot of times we spend a lot of times in kicks turning halfway and then finishing with our heel all the way forwards. It's kind of what we're going to work on today. When you front kick, you really only need to turn your foot halfway, see the left standing foot, because when you kick, that's as much as you need to go. But on round kicks and side kicks and hook kicks, this heel needs to come all the way forwards to allow that to happen. So circle, hand back up again. So what we're going to work on is just warm up with some roundhouse kicks. Okay, so we're going to go sort of nice and a slow roundhouse kick. We're going to open the hips, and then we're just going to kick, and we're going to pull back. All right, so we're just going to do it nice and slow. Okay? But I want everyone to open their hips first before you kick. Okay, twist. Heel forwards, and then step back. Lovely. So again, because it's control of power, most people can kick a roundhouse kick quickly. When you slow it down, you have to really check that your technique is solid. Okay. And again, twist and kick, set. All the way through and back. So again, to get your foot in that position, if you pan down again, sir. Okay, I'm sorry I keep stopping starting, but it's quite important. When you bring your knee through, you see how the heel turns. Now you don't have to bring your leg up to the side. You just bring your knee through this way. By bringing it through and with your heel forwards, you see how that roundhouse kick is much more efficient. This is great because it's strong, but this is much, much faster, okay, and more practical in sparring. So we'll turn, we'll bring the knee through, kick, and then step back, okay? So again, I'll keep it on the next, turn, 1, knee through, 2, kick through, and back, lovely. And again, 2, turn, set, kick, and then step back, lovely. So again on that roundhouse kick, to finish, when you're here, don't forget to pull that leg back before you put your foot down. Okay, yeah, turn and kick through and back. Lovely, one more. Yeah, turn, through and back. Good, and change your stance. Go. So, same again. Twist. In this position. 1. Knee through. 2. Kick. And then step back. Lovely. 2. Turn. Kick. Through and back. Lovely. Set. Turn. Kick. Through and back. Lovely. Yeah. Turn. Through and back. More. Gas. Turn. Through and step back. Lovely. Change your stance. Go. Okay, so go a little higher, sir. 1 count all the way through. So we're gonna come through like we did with the inside out kick, but with the roundhouse kick all the way through. So if I just show you here, through and back, okay? Through and back, rather than doing it that way. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a different way to kick. So by the count, through and step back. 2, through, and back. So twisting the hip, set, through, and back. And you find when you do it this way, but a lot of people in their roundhouse kick, they do it like this. You see how the foot doesn't go past my body. But by forcing the hip open and bringing your knee through, you naturally go into that position straight away. So actually, it's a more efficient round kick off your back leg. Okay. Toss, through, and back, especially when you're kicking pads. One, through, and then back. Just so again, twisting, opening the hips. Through, and back. 2, through, and back. 10, through, and back. Okay, so when you go back, it's your rear leg. So when you get to this position here, I literally throw my knee back and on the ball of the foot and just kind of pivot all the way back to the stance. Right, it's quite a hard move. You've got to be right on the ball of your foot. Okay. Yes. Through, and pivot back. Yes. Through, and pivot back. Last one. Through, and pivot back. Lovely. Bottom. Good. Sure. Excellent. So, next technique is the front into the roundhouse kick. So if we pan down the legs, sir. So we'll break up the technique. So we come up this way and then we pivot. And we force our heel forwards, but then we turn into the chamber position. It's nice and tight. Okay, so you see the knees already past the body, waiting for that extension. Okay, so we're going to work on first position, second position. Okay, we're going to do it slightly differently to kind of how you guys have done it before. So we'll do a couple, and then I'll explain a bit more about the technique. Okay, so we've got our right foot back. First position, knee up, 1. Now, turn, 2, twist. Lovely, and then step back. So, I found a really good way, if you pan up a bit higher, sir, with the twist, is to turn. See how I throw the arm down, and it helps with the twist. Well, that's okay to do that. And again, 2, up, set, twist. Good, and step back. Yeah, up, does, twist, and step back. Lovely. Now, what I want you to focus on is not twisting the lead leg. Everyone's doing that really well. It's the rear leg that we're going to work on. Right? So when you get to this position here, okay, as you go on the, if you don't want to pan down, sir, as you go on the ball of your foot, I want you to throw your heel forwards and push your bottom that way, this way. By pushing your bottom this way, you actually aid this leg kicking. So I'll show you from the front view here. If I push my bottom, actually it's a lot easier to turn the knee. All right? So the rear part of the body now is going to do the predominant twisting. All right? Does that make sense? And also it helps with your hip flexibility as well. So let's go right foot back. So let's work on knee up. 1. So you've got to come up on the ball of your foot. 2, twist you and step back. Hopefully you'll feel a difference to maybe how you've done it before. I know when I did this, I found it really, really interesting. And it helped a lot. 2, up and twist. Hip forwards. And then step back. You're doing a screen like this, yeah? Okay. 1 more. Step up. Yeah. Twist. And step back. Lovely. Okay. This time we're going to go up, twist, kick, and then step back. So again, we're doing it slowly. Intro chunk, control of power. All right. So 1, 2, twist, set, and then back. Okay. Lovely. Now, how do you get back to your stance? Just naturally go down and reach behind you for the floor. Okay. Once you step back, then you step this way. So when you're here, bring your knee back and just reach for the floor. Let your weight come down naturally. Right? A lot of people tend to go drop, but what you're doing is, as you're here, we're just bringing our leg back and we're just finding the floor behind us and resetting. So again, that balance is really, really important. Okay. So first position, 1. Good. Rear hip, 2, kick, and reset and reach for the floor. Good. You should feel the ball of your foot touch. Once you feel it touch behind you, you can reset your weight to whatever your preference is. Some people like their weight on the back leg a lot. Some people like 50-50. Other people like 90-10. It's a personal thing. Okay, whatever you feel. I kind of like 50-50. Okay, so one more time. Hana, 1. Hip forward, 2. Twist. Set. Reach. And back. Lovely. So, this time, first position. Okay, kick. Foot back down. So it's a lot harder because you've got your foot in that position. So you've really got to twist that hip now. Really got to throw that heel forwards to allow that roundhouse kick to come out. First position, hana. Now think about ball of the foot, 2, twist, and then reset. Okay, so when you break a kick down like this, technically it is harder because you don't have momentum. But if you understand what your body needs to do, you can train this way and make your kicks stronger. So when you come to do it all in one move, it's going to be super easy. Okay, and again, do up, turn, and then reset. Good. So really is, it's foot, if you go down to the leg, so it's really forcing you to push that hip forward, because we're doing this already, but push that rear hip forwards with your bottom. Okay, and again, so up. Okay, 2 more. Hana, up. 2, turn and kick, and set back down again. Again, height's not important, it's just technique. Last one, tassel up, yassel, turn and kick. Lovely. So what sometimes that we find with, when you do it slowly, is people do this, and then they drop their leg as they turn. You want to keep this knee at this level, and try to keep that same height in your hips, all right? So this time, all the way through, up, and then rotate, and then step back. You'll find it a lot easier now because you've got that momentum. Don't forget, as you start to come up, the rear hip twists. So it's that rear hip, up and turn, push your hip in that direction. Okay, so right foot back. Right, kick, and then step back. 2, kick, and then step back. Set, kick, step back. Good. Yeah, kick, step back. Last one. Yes, kick, and step back. Excellent. And change. Okay, so first position. 1. We'll go to position 2. Do this again, and we'll step back. Okay, we'll break it right back down to your basics again. All right. So position 1, hana, 1. Left hip, the right hip turn. 2, turn, kick, nice and slow, reach for the floor. Okay. 2, up, turn, kick, reset, reach for that floor. Nice and light down. Feel the weight, like almost like you're dropping slowly into the floor, bit by bit. Yeah, up, turn, kick, and then back. Lovely. So let's do up and kick. So we'll go up, turn and kick, and then we'll reset behind us as we do our moves. 1, 2, kick, and then reset behind you. Good. 2, up, turn and kick, reset behind you. So again, don't let that knee come down. Keep it up as you can. So really about forcing that heel forwards. Good. Set up. Yeah. Turn and kick. Reset. Lovely. Last one. Tassel up. 2, kick, and reset. Okay, all the way through now. Up Tororigi into, up Chinagi into Dori or Chagi. Front into roundhouse kick. Fast. It's nice and quick. So up, kick, and reset. 2, kick, and reset. Set, kick, and reset. Yeah, kick, and reset. So all I'm thinking about when I'm doing this technique is, slightly, just doing that. That's all that's in my head, right? Because you guys already know how to lift your knee and roundhouse kick. Okay, 2 more. Yes. Kick and reset. That's 1. Yuk. Kick and reset. 1. Now, the reason I chose these particular techniques today was a lot of times when I was kicking, when I was doing this type of multiple kicking, I would struggle understanding why I couldn't do it as well when I changed the angle. It was because different angles require different parts of your body to work. When you do a basic roundhouse kick, you don't have to think about the rear hip because you're throwing your weight forwards and that takes care of itself. Which suddenly when the angle is changed and you're going that way, you change direction, the rear hip is really important to get the movement. So for some kicks, the same side body works well, but when you change the angle and suddenly you do that, it's a whole different way of doing it. Okay, and that's kind of why we did that one today. So we're going to go on to I think it's Yuk Soo series of our Soo Bahk Do Kichos. We covered this on Tuesday. Okay, so we're going to work on just this movement here. So when you do Yuk Soo Do, again, it's about working the hips and not necessarily pumping the arms forward and backwards. So if I get you to start from your chumbi position, we're going to angle off, bringing our right shoulder forwards and bringing our legs together. So same thing we practiced before. Rather than turning, we're just going to do the same thing, but we're going to drag our foot and turn our shoulder 90 degrees. As we do that, we're just going to bring this left hand forwards, so it's kind of between our legs. So from the side view, here, okay, we do this. The other hand just comes back behind us. Here, okay, we're doing this motion, hand behind. All right? So right leg's going to one. We're going to step forwards and throw that Yuk Soo Do. One. Good. Now from here, we're going to pull this hip back. 2. Twist. And then from there, bring it across. So this leg in line with your belt. In this position, throw the punch. 10. Good. Excellent. So from here, dropping the rear, the front arm down. 1. Step. And then twist. Good. So this hip is coiled in. You see how it's in? Push it out. And we Yuk Soo Do. 2. And then we reset. And then punch. So as you reset, you'll notice here, it's resetting to set up that punch. Over the bottom. Good. Go again from the offset. So this time we're going to go left foot forwards. So we're going to angle off. 1. 2. And hip in. 2. Yeah. Reset. Punch. Yeah. Angle up. 1. 2. Set. Hold. Punch. Good. And ball. Okay, a little bit about the hips now. Just a little bit more detail on this one. The main thing is that front hip going in and coming out. So when you angle off, okay, from here, the rear hip is coiled. That's what pushes you forwards. As the rear hip pushes you forwards, this hip here coils in. See, there is a forward hip and a backwards hip. All right, and this is a really important part of the movement. All right, so if I come a little bit closer so you guys can see. So you angle off to create the rear hip in, and as you push, the rear hip comes out and the front hip comes in. And that is that motion there. Then as we change, that front hip comes out, pushing the rear hip this way, and that is your next technique. Obviously, because we're in front stance, we can't bring this hip all the way back in again. We have to accept it just does this, it stops. So it's open as well as this one here, if that makes sense, yeah? If we went back into horse stance, this would be a hip that's in, but unfortunately, we are limited to front stance, if that makes sense, yeah? So that's what we're going to be working on now, is just those little details from that Yuk Soo Do. So chumbi. So let's go left foot. We're going to bring in the right hip and hana. 1. So as we step now, we're pulling in that left hip, pushing out that right hip. 1. Push out the left hip. 2. Reset. And then punch. Good. Okay. Next position, angle off. 1. Push the right hip forward. 2. Again, hip out. Angle. Punch. And again, bottom. So the reason we do the preparation move is again to pull this hip back in again. So when we're here, you can't really punch with any power because the hip's already open. So we come back and we bring the hip in, and that provides the power for that Chundan Kongik to finish. So that's kind of what I look at when I'm learning new stuff now. It's like, what is my hip doing and which one is active and which one isn't? Okay, so Chumbi, let's work again. Going to the left hand side. In. 1. Good. 2. 4. Punch. Good. And in. 2. 1. 2. Set. Lovely. Okay, so now you know about the hips. Don't worry about your arms. And that sounds weird to say. A lot of times when people learn this, it's the shoulders doing the work. What you're doing with this technique is you're redirecting a kick. So if you actively reach for a kick, like this with your arm, chances are you're going to get kicked. Because what you do is you're reaching for something coming incredibly fast, and a leg is a lot stronger than the arm. So you might block it if you're lucky, but 9 times out of 10 as you hit the leg, it's going to continue on its path and strike you. So what we're doing is, the reason for the hips is that we are redirecting with our hips and our body the kick. So the arm is just feeling where the leg is and just redirecting it. So if I actively go to block it with my arm, that's not the drill. The idea is when you're here to redirect the kick with just using the body and the hips. If that makes sense, yeah? So when you're kicking, as the person kicks you, what you're doing is you're blocking the inside of the legs. You're opening the stance out, and then the second Yuk Soo over here is coming between the legs, okay? Which is this position here. If you've ever been kicked in the groin, I have, the head comes forwards, okay? So what we do when we hit the head is we redirect it, and then bang, we strike straight into the side of the head, right? So that's kind of what we're doing with this movement here. So let's work on that one more time, yeah? So, Chumbi. So think now I'm redirecting the kick. Angle, 1 to the left, 2, 1, 2, strike the groin. Redirect, punch. Lovely. Again, you've been hitting the groin and the arms are out. Push the arms out of the way, boom. There's your Chundan Kongik. Nice. Lovely. Let's go to the right hand side. In. 1, 2, set, punch. Good. Now we follow on one more. Okay. In. 1, 2, set. Good. Okay. I was trying to think of an expression to help with transitioning between forwards and backwards. And I thought bounce back was quite, bearing in mind COVID-19, bounce back and bounce back loads would be quite a good technique to think about. So when you do this, a bounce back is to go 1, 2, bounce back, all right? So what we're going to work on now is when we've done 1, 2, I want you to bounce back straight away. Okay, 1, 2, bounce back and create that momentum for the punch. So here, hip in, hip out, nice and quick. Okay, should be. So going to the left hand side, in, 1, 2, bounce back, finish. Good. In, 1, 2, bounce back. Yeah. Excellent. Let's do one more. So always again, going with the left side. So I know in a Zoom class it's quite difficult to if you're limited for space, but always, always as a general rule, you go with your left leg first. So 2 Okay. Hana, in. Shoot, 1, 2. Bounce back. Shoot, 1, 2. Hana, in. Shoot, 1, 2. Set. Shoot. Excellent. Okay, guys. So, okay, let's do some 3-step. Some 2-step area, 3 steps fine. Okay, we've been working on number 5, which is the outside in kicks. So we're going to continue to do that one this week. That's our 3-step of the week. Because it fits in nicely with reaching for the floor behind you whenever you throw a kick. All right. So we start with our right foot back. If I just show you guys first, again, it works nicely with bringing your shoulder forward as well. So think of bringing your shoulder forwards and the leg kind of follows, and we step back, we reach behind us, and we transfer our weight into back stance. So from here, we reach behind us, we feel the floor with our toes, and we just adjust our weight back into hook adjusting. Right? So it's a nice gentle transition. A lot of times I see it like 1, and it's quite bouncy. So when you're here, up, reach for the floor and sit down. Okay, so right foot back, party. So Paki so under check, 1, and then reach for the floor. Back. Good. Next technique, I'm so Paki check. So front foot comes across, inside out, reach for the floor, step back. Okay. 2, inside out, reach, sit down. Okay. From here, 2 ways you can do this. You can stand up, an outside in kick, or you can just do the kick from the floor. Both are correct. So from here, it's an outside in kick. So right. Both hands to your left hip, knee forwards, step strike, high low strike. Put them in one line, high low move. Excellent. Okay, so that is 3-step number 5. So again, from the side view, with the inside to out kick, you're striking with your, not with your foot, you're striking with your shin. So when you do this movement, it's a shin movement, and sit back down again. Right, so if I just borrow Master Bob a second, okay, and we'll be able to see what I'm striking. Just put the sliders here. Put your left arm out. I think just step 1 step back, like a punch. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm using my shin this way to strike in, rather than the top of my foot, if that makes sense, yeah? So that's what we're using rather than the top. So again, right foot back, 1. So outside to in kick, Pakiso Anro Chan, 1, turn and reach for the floor. Good. Now, again, notice the hip comes back and then behind. You focus on the leg, sir. Okay? We're focusing on the standing leg coming, turning on the ball of the foot, twisting and back. If you turn your heel back here, you're already set up for the back stance. All you have to do with that rear leg is just reach and sit down. Okay? So again, back here, turn, and then reach and sit down. And then you create a nice back stance, if that makes sense. Yeah? So I get onto bar again. We'll work on that movement. So go a bit higher, sir. All right? So get that hip back forwards so your knee is square before you step back. Okay? Right foot back. Outside in kick. 1. Good. Turn. Reach for the floor. Same again with the inside out kick. 1. And then if you go to the floor, sir. Okay, you'll see my toes are facing forwards. Then you sit down. So if I just go to here, you see my heel is in the back leg is facing that way. So as you do your inside out kick, you turn, and then you put these toes facing forwards. That makes sense, yeah? Okay, so if we borrow, we'll go back to the start again. It's all about body position, a little bit higher for a second. All about where your feet end up, because if the feet aren't in the right position, the technique is really hard to do. It feels massively awkward. So right foot back. Good. First position, outside in kick. 1. 1, turn, reset. Good. Now, bring that leg forwards. 2, in, and reach. Excellent. Now from here, just outside into 10. 1, turn the knee. 1, forwards. High low. Okay. If you bring the screen down again, sir. So, the last move here. Hands to the hip. We do that little turn again, where we bring our legs forward. So if I step forwards, my foot's actually in the right position, this rear foot for that front stance. So because it's here, we have to turn it 45 degrees to allow us to step forward into Chongo Jase. All right, so when you're in this position, turn and then forwards. All right, let's do it one more time. 3-step number 5. All right, so if you bring the screen up inside. Good. So right foot back. Good. Pakisu under the train. 1. Step back. Good. 2. Turn the foot. Step back. Move it up. Step. Outside in. Turn. Strike. Lovely. So, just to explain the hands. So, for the guys that trained on Tuesday, you'll know this anyway. It's an overhand punch. So when you do an overhand punch in boxing, generally it comes in this position. It's like an overhand, right? Because straight punches aren't always the answer. Sometimes you've got to go around the target to hit. So if I borrow a second, sir. So if you come this way. So generally speaking, if he's sparring with me, he's going to have his hands up. So we need to remove this barrier first in order to get to his head. So if I just threw a punch, he would probably block it. Boom. If I smash his guard down, which is this motion, here, which is what we're doing, and then I can strike him here on the chin, right? If you hit someone's guard and they're quite tense, generally they'll turn their head, right? So again, sir, so we smash it down and we strike at the same time with our overhand punch. All right, guys. We could do a straight punch. But actually, if I punch him from here, I'm actually too far away. So here, okay, boom, boom, I'm too far away. Right, but if you relax, sir. If I hit and I step, I'm actually reaching in and I'm striking him here. So this way, sir. Right. So again, if I hit him and I lean, I'm close enough. So I'm aware if I'm leaning forwards, I need to get my head out of the way to stay safe. Because if I'm leaning and keeping my head up, I'm actually restricting my punch. If that makes sense, yeah? So when you see this movement here, that's the reason that we're doing it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm just going to, sorry, my Zoom thing's done something weird. Okay, so let's work on a little bit of conditioning. So you start to the side, we're going to work the ground kick up and down, so we've been doing classes. So just a pan on the next one. Okay? So I'm going to get you to start from heel forwards and foot past your heel. I'm just going to go up and down from the toes to the hip. So we're not looking to go up in the air too much. It's just belt, back down, belt, back down. And we're going to do that 20 times. Okay? So foot forwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 7, neck, that's it, yield, yo, up, yo, change size. You guys wasn't counting in Korean, that's 10. Okay, so, look forwards, okay, 1, 2, 7, neck, that's it, yield, yo, up, yo, yield, eat, sun, go, look, chill, bow, do, sit, and relax. Take your hips, high, do, set, neck change, that's it. Yes. Do you want flipping the screen? So, last stretch we're going to do is just the hip stretch for roundhouse kicks and side kicks. Because a lot of times as well, when you are doing side stretching, your leg is so heavy that the momentum takes over and the stretch doesn't really happen. So when you're forced to make a small shape like this, you start to push your knee up, you don't have that momentum. What you have got is the ability to open your hips more, primarily for the leg on the floor. Because we know this knee can lift, but these muscles, they need stretching as well. So you'll find when you lift your knee up, actually it's a double stretch. One for the lead leg, but also the inside muscles of the rear leg are getting that stretch that you need when you're kicking. Right? And you'll find that doing this type of stretching will actually improve your kicking massively. Right? It's not really a big movement. So you start in the roundhouse kick position. We're going to go up and down with the knee. So, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, do, go, hop, go, gil, eat, sa, go, yip, jump, up, do, sit, and change. I found this stretch really good for hip flexibility. Again, knee forwards, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, do, go, hop, go, in, sa, go, yip, jump, up, in, sit. So this time I'm going to get you to put your right foot forwards. Okay, we're going to bend our leg, hands are at the top of the hips, stretch, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, yes, do. You want to change legs, stretching forwards, again, hands on the top of the hip, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, yes, do. You want to change again. This time, if you pan down, so you're going to put your toes on the floor and push your bottom a bit higher. You'll feel that stretching. And do it. Set. Yeah. That's it. That's it. You want to change legs. So this time, we push our heel down, push our left bottom cheek up. And do it. Set. Yeah. That's it. That's it. You. This position is basically here, cat stance, just a little variation in the stretch. So from here, lifting our knee, pointing our toes, Hana, do, set, yeah, basa, yasa, il, yodel, knee down, Hana, do, set, yeah, basa, yasa, il, yodel, change legs, knee up, Hana, do, set, yeah, basa, yasa, il, yodel, knee down, Hana, do, set, yeah, basa, yasa, il, yeah, the last couple of stretches. So arm across the chest, grabbing the triceps, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, yes, do, yoda behind the head, stretch down, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, yes, do, yoda across the body, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, yes, do, yoda behind the head, Hana, do, set, yeah, that's it, yes, very good. Actually, I've got one more stretch. Okay, we're going to link our fingers together. What we're going to do is we're going to push our back out and stretch our shoulders. Okay, so we're pushing our back out here, stretch the back. Set, yeah, yasa, yasa, yoda. I found this a great one for the Pawal Kyung move as well. Okay, so well done today. Excellent class. Now, please, chop. Super. Soo Bahk, guys. Good class. Excellent.